I was just I was just looking through YouTube, and I came across a video. It was a DMA, Denver Metro Audits Live. He had a lot of cool people up on his panel. Um, there was a couple things said that was like, I will never be able to agree with. Not even if it's cool. Not even if it's popular. Not even if it's like what the majority think is the better way or whatever. And like, yeah, it's a way, but the better way is what it was being touted as by, quite frankly, nerds, straight up nerds. Like uh, Long Island Audit, Erie County, Erie County. I can't remember. Why can't I remember what Erie County's freaking thing is? The thing about it is, it's like I like both of them. I like both the dudes, but they are like a little bit off. They think that they're trying to be goody two shoes for some reason, and being a goody two shoe doesn't make you more free. Um, it it actually does the least of freedom. You know, insubordination is key to freedom, while compliance is against the very nature of freedom. Just because you talk like a good little boy does not mean I have to, and I'm not a bad person for not talking like a good little boy or whatever. You know, I just had to come alive to say these things. I hope that these guys hear me. They were saying things about like, oh, there's auditors that are protagonists and all this stuff. It's like, um, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to agree with that. Hey, Patrick DeCambria, the time for peaceful protesting is over. Shit, yeah, it's done been over. Roadhog, Roadhog. That's what I. That's how I like to say your thing. Roadhog Kennel. Yeah, I just had to come live. I saw that DMA panel. There's some awesome people on there, but geez, Louise, there's two of the guys almost simping for, like I guess, LIA was telling everybody, I do the things too, but I don't say all the bad words. I say tyrant and what do you say, tyrant and coward. Tyrant and coward, which are good provocative words. They really provoke a POS public service employee. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with cocksucker or like bitch ass boy. There's nothing wrong with that. Bitch ass boy is basically another word for coward. Cocksucker would be another word for tyrant. You see what I'm saying? It's just uh, different points of view and everything, yes, but at the same time, don't don't act like those other ways are wrong. But that's another thing I wanted to talk about with people. But at the same time, I also wanted to say like people like Erie County and Long Island Audit. Those guys are popular as shit. They get so many views, subs, and all this stuff, and they're all out there preaching compliance. Like, oh yeah, it's one thing to talk, not don't you don't have to talk too bad. Like what's bad, bro? Like you gonna tell me that what talking how I talk or expressing how I express is bad? But anyways, the thing is while people find them popular and give them a lot of views, seems like people don't even want to hear about what the hell I'm trying to say. And for like the last seven years, I've been studying um the stuff. Oh yeah, Erie County said what he said was that he said something about you want to out professional the professionals. It's like, um, bro, for 7 years I've been trying to tell you they're not fucking professionals. Public service is a public trust, shall be held for the sole benefit of the people. That's what their words say. They're already supposed to have these provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct, but nobody knows about these provisions of law. But they're already set in the government. If more people listen to what I'm trying to say, more people could tell the government, hey, look at this is where it already says that you motherfuckers are to be regulated. And no, you're not supposed to be acting for private gain like you're doing right now. You're sitting here telling me that I can't be in the public library because that other public service agent behind the desk told me that they didn't want me here. Well, sorry. It's more like we, the people, don't want you here because you're going against our public. You're acting for private gain. You're sitting there trying to tell me I have to leave because I'm holding a sign that says, remember the Constitution. So now I have to leave because I'm holding a sign that says, remember the Constitution? No, you have to leave. In fact, you're terminated from your position to never work in public service ever again. That's not exactly how their regulations are written. But if there's like two or more wrongs, yes, they can be terminated the first time. If they commit one wrong, they can be retrained. Then on a separate occasion, they commit two wrongs, then they have to be reassigned. And then if they commit three wrongs on a separate occasion, they have to be terminated. But if they commit like two wrongs in one occasion, that's an automatic termination. But everybody's sitting here wondering, like, how are we going to fire the cops? Well, their own papers say how to fire them, but nobody wants to read that. When I try to tell everybody about their own fucking papers, they're like, bro, those they already have those papers, but they're not even listening to them. No, it's not that they're not listening to them. It's that you don't even know about them to even enforce them. Because you want to know why? Because I've been telling everybody about them for 7 years, and people still keep calling them professionals when the paper says conscientious. They're supposed to act conscientious. It doesn't say they're supposed to act professional. So then when the people are saying you're supposed to be professional, the cops are like, or the public service employees are like, you think we're supposed to be professional? Oh, that just solidified our union that we use for private gain, because we got everybody tricked into thinking that public service employees is a career or a job or a business. So why not? We'll just implement a union, a fraternal brotherhood of police, or some other union within the public service employees, within the public trust. They won't even know the difference. They all think it's a job. They all think it's a business. They all think that it's a career. None of them are going to even care. And what do we have here today? Nobody knowing, nobody caring. I mean, it's like a lot of people care, but just not about the right part. But at the same time, what they're caring about is true, legit, honest, and right. But what I'm trying to say is that we need to start caring about other parts too. But nobody wants to listen to me. I can't get one of these big channels to fucking do a interview of me so that they can get a comprehension of what I'm comprehending. They discredit it right off the bat. Like, it seems like everybody will listen to Chili say overturn Ontario versus Ohio, and that he's a constitutional scholar, which is right. You don't have to have a degree to be a constitutional scholar. All you have to do is study the fucking Constitution. But what I'm trying to say is, Chili won't even listen to me about what I'm trying to show. He won't. He refuses to almost. It's like It's like he'll just get the fuck right off of what I'm talking about. He won't even speak no more about it. The Constitution says how to file them. We have the Second Amendment to prevent tyranny. Exactly, Patrick. YouTube has been fucked with my voice to text. I'm just about ready to give up. Oh, I know, Patrick the Cambria. Fuck the voice to text is horrible on any platform. Google or any of it. It's all drawn through Google, anyways. They got a monopoly on the internet, basically. They say all these other ones are there, but they are all screened by the same fucking Google lovers, the same fucking Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg lovers. Americans have, and people like Trump lovers and fucking others. It's all the same. They're all the fucking same. Americans have lost touch with we the people. Oh yeah, that's another thing that was said on DMA's live panel from LIA and fucking Erie County is that he said Long Island Audit said cops are people too, and it's like no, you don't understand what a people is. A people doesn't mean we're living beings. We're like human beings, you could say, or living beings, but a people is a nation, and the cops and the public, they're not even. None of them are fucking cops. Not one of them. That's a false term. They're public service employees. It's defined 5 CFR 2635.102 H defines what a public service employee is. It says state and local government actors. Okay, it's not just federal. They're all federal executive branch public service employees. It says state and local actors. So the thing about it is that they try to trick us into thinking that there's a separation between states and local and federal, like it's all three different governments. But no, the government's one government. Why would we ever why would we ever want a government that was separated all the way up into three different separate governments? So that, yeah, and it's not the same ethics. It's the Ethics and Government Act of 1978 pretty much outlines and holds the ethical standards for all departments and agencies all the way down. Okay. But yeah. Hey. Well, hi. Good to see you. That's what the LIA said on DMA's live panel is that cops are people too. You know, trying to almost like act like cops have all the same rights as people. No, we the people are people. We the people. They are the public service employees. It says public service is a public trust and shall be held for the sole benefit of the people. The people are the sole beneficiary. We're the beneficiaries of the trust, while the public service employees are the trustee. They cannot be the trustee and the beneficiary at the same time. That's like serving two masters. You'll drop one to serve the other. If the cops had rights, the same rights we do, they would be able to just say, hey, I don't want to uphold your rights because I have my own rights to uphold. And yours come after mine. That's what the cops would say. Oh, lo and behold, what are the cops doing? The cops. Oh, they're fucking acting like they're the ones with the rights and that they don't have to uphold anybody's rights. It's what the fuck we're talking about, but nobody's fucking listening. I don't mind saying AEC and fucking LIA are fucking what really looped my brain on that panel. Yeah, it's brain loop. It's brain looping. You know, how can the public service employees be public service employees and be the people at the same time? The public service employees are supposed to serve the people. How are they going to be the servants and the people at the same time? It's fucking impossible. That's not the way that the government was designed. That it was for the people. by the people. But the government is not the people. That part where it says by the people, that doesn't mean that the people are the ones. Well, some of our people do grow up to be public service employees, but once you swear to that oath is for life. There's no expiration date on an oath. That means that once you swear to uphold and defend the Constitution, you're supposed to take that to the grave. You're supposed to defend that with honor. That's the oath. And the thing is they try to say, oh, they try to act like they never had to do the oath at all. Well, the problem with that is it says that we have the right to assume their oath. So basically, if they're a public service employee acting in that capacity, we can assume that they've taken the public service oath. Otherwise, they're not a public servant. Plain and simple. That means that they're like terminated on the spot. Cops are agents of the state. They are not citizens. When they wear their uniform, they have duties. We have rights. Exactly, Patrick Cambria. And I'll even go further to say that they are never off duty, that they are always on call. There's no expiration date on an oath. And even if they say, quote unquote, retire, they're still known as the public service employee. Like the public school teachers, your teacher, Mrs. Ridenauer or whatever. If you see Mrs. Ridenauer after her retirement, 3 years after her retirement, she's always going to be Mrs. Ridenauer to you. She's not going to be, oh, hey, Becky. No, you don't call your teachers Becky. You call them Mrs. Ridenauer, and that's what you're fucking expected to call these people, these public service employees calling themselves teachers. Sorry, I said people. See, the thing is we've all went through the same indoctrination process. Hey, Beth Risk, good to see you here tonight. I'm kind of on a little rant about a live panel I saw on Denver Metro Audits channel, which was Denver Metro Audits is awesome as heck. Joe Cool's badass. There's a lot of cool ass people on there. Even Long Island Audit and AEC are really cool. I don't, they're not horrible bad people, but they're wrong on a bunch of shit where they think that they're fully right, and they will not help anybody but themselves, especially if they think that you're not right. Basically, like AEC is right there in Erie County. Well, Christopher Real, he's in Erie County. But will AEC fucking showcase any of Christopher Real's videos or go and do some audits for Christopher Real when he's being at the height of his problem? He was being served a warrant. They served the same warrant on him, on Christopher Real, 6 times and never showed a warrant one time. And at the end of it, after 6 years of fucking torment, his case was dismissed. So basically, they never showed a warrant. That warrant never existed. It was served on him 6 times. He was beaten in his yard several times, taken to the ground, put in handcuffs, hauled off to the jail. Cops coming in his fucking house and even taking him down in his living room or kitchen. That's fucking wronger than shit. But you wouldn't even know it happened if it was AEC's fucking shit, because I've never seen AEC post a video for Christopher Real, even though they're both right there in Erie County, New York. That goes for like where I'm from, Nevada. I asked Reno auditing Reno 911, hey man, blah blah blah, I need help, blah blah blah. He tried to tell me he wouldn't go out cop watching with me because I yell and I use cuss words. And then on top of it, helping showcase what's happening to me, helping showcase the wrongs in my case that the public service employees are doing. Nope. Won't even touch it. Oh, good looking out for yourself, bro. Guess what? auditing Reno 911. If I'm able to, and you need fucking the help and the protesters in your area, I'm a fucking protester. I'm not an auditor. I'm a freedom traveler. I have the right to use my property. I have the right to intend the use of my property, which is my automobile. I have the right to use my devices, my property in public. You can't tell me I can't use my property in public. It's my public too. So I buy a car. I want to use that car. I didn't buy it so that you could charge me extra fees. I bought it because I'm going to use it. So I'm a freedom traveler first, okay? I don't talk about my right to travel until that's like third in line of the rights that I talk about. I first talk about my right to use. I have the right to use my property. I have the right to use my public. Yeah, it's your public too, but don't tell me how to use my public. Public is first come, first serve. If my fucking stupid ass is right up on in there, right, and that portion of public, then I have the right to use it. And when I go on about my way, and then you can come on in and use it as well. Especially if we've reached capacity, like in a public building. You know, that is like a time, place, and manner restriction. Capacity. We can't have like overcrowded people in a public building. Any building really. It's a danger. It's it's not just dangerous because they say so. Something could happen, but the could thing. Fuck no. There ain't no coulds in law. In law. It's fact. There's got to be facts. You can't say, "Oh, you were doing 65 in a 45. You could have hurt somebody." No, fuck you. I can do 65 in a 45. I don't even recognize your speed limit. But I could do that. But for me, I recognize safety. I observe safety rules. But safety rules are never to be enforced as laws. Facts. It has to have a factual basis behind it. And when it comes to crimes, you have to commit the crime with intent to commit the crime. These are called preponderances of fact. Everybody, hardly anybody even thinks about some of this shit. But I'm the 600 something subscriber guy that knows a lot about these things, and I'm not popular. I'm not highly popular as far as my subscriber count shows, but damn, I got a lot to fucking. People need, especially when they're on there saying cops are people too, and then they're saying AEC saying you have to out professional you have to out professional be more professional than the professionals or something. It's like they're not fucking professionals. Yeah, texting while driving is far more professional or dangerous than speeding, but at the same time, it's not a crime. It might be a no, but it's not a crime. Only stupid people would text and drive. Like, come on, fucking observe the safety rule. Pull over, use the public easements. The public easements are there for a reason. So if you have to text, you can pull over on the easement. They're not there for only the public employees to use. That's what somebody tried to tell me, that public easements are for public service agents to use. It's like, you're stupid. This is why the public service agents think that what they're doing is a career and a business. So basically, and why they think that they're professionals and why they think that they're just doing their job. Hey, here's the deal. Good to see you in here. Thank you. It's about time you come to my live end because I've been wanting to talk to you for like 3 years, but I thank you a whole lot for being in here. I was hoping that you would talk to me more about my case like 3 years ago. Seems like it wasn't a thing that was going to happen or something. anyways, we're all worried about the overturning Terry versus Ohio from 1970s, 1960s, 64 through 68. Here's the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act of 1883. That thing has to be reformed. By establishing a professionalized civil service, the Pendleton Act marked a significant shift in how public service was perceived, transitioning it from a temporary political appointment to a stable career path. And this is not the way it should ever have been. The Pendleton Act, the Pendleton Civil Service Act of 1883 is totally against 5 CFR 2635.101, which says that they're not supposed to act for private gain, and they're not supposed to be receiving financial gain for the performance, the conscientious performance of their duty. So if they're not supposed to receive financial gain for the conscientious performance of their duty, what the fuck are they doing getting paid for? But then people like LIA would say, no, they're people too. What, do you believe in slavery or something? You're not going to pay them for their labor? It's like, no, they're not people too. We, the people, they, the public service employee, which it's not slavery because they signed up for it. Just got an alert. What's the deal? Here's the deal. By the way, Brian, I really like you, and I've appreciated your stance for years now. I think I've been watching you since Facebook, maybe since YouTube. I started YouTubing in like 2000, and I got my YouTube in like 2011 or 2012. I didn't really use YouTube until about 2013. So somewhere around in there, I've been watching, me and Trent Goodbody, Freedom from Government. We used to always watch, high impact vlogs, high impact flicks. Now here's the deal, So just to let you know, I like you, even though I'm kind of insubordinate to some of the things. You're a big channel. I wanted to talk to you. I've been studying for 7 years, something I want to talk to you about, and your popularity could showcase the comprehension to more people than I could. I was hoping that you'd talk to me about it so that you could comprehend the shit that I'm comprehending about this shit, so that you could tell the people with your popularity, if you had the comprehension, your popularity would be able to be used to show the people more about the comprehension. But I tried to show you one time, but you were like, dude, they already don't listen to that. And you're right. You're totally right. But it's at the same time, come on, bro, listen to what I'm trying to say so that you can. I have a hard time talking anyways. I need to fucking tell you my comprehension so that you can, for one, go over the papers I'm talking about, the parts that I'm trying to show. Oh, it's buffering, huh? They also held their room temperature IQ hiring ceiling. Yep. Supreme Court ruled that Leo is not a profession, it's an occupation, like a clown. Yeah, but that's law enforcement officer, the tribe, which law enforcement officer is an agency title, not an actual government title. Their only true government title is public service employee. Law enforcement officer is not a government title. Their only true government title is public service employee. So while a law enforcement officer is a profession or a occupation, public service employee, which they are only by federal standards, anything else would be a title of nobility. that they'd be using to claim more than what they actually have, to make us think that they have more authority than they actually have, which they've been doing. They call themselves cops. They call themselves law enforcement. They call themselves sheriff, chief, sergeant, lieutenant. Those are not government titles. Those are like interagency titles that they allow themselves to call themselves, but the government doesn't allow them to call themselves that. But the people don't know enough to say, hey, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Are you calling yourself a sergeant? Everybody's starting to catch on slowly and everything. But, you know, I don't think it's catching on fast enough when I see Long Island Audit, who's a fucking highly popular channel on Denver Metro Audit's panel, saying, cops are people too. What, LIA? Like, so they have all the rights that we do? That they're like somehow the same as we the people? That they're not, that they didn't swear an oath to the Constitution to uphold and defend the Constitution? Article 4, Section 4? They don't have to do any of that, right? Because they're just people too. Yeah, all that peacekeeper agreement and all that shit is agency bullshit. It's not even real government bullshit. That's agency bullshit. You know how Audit Them always talks about the block diagram? Every public building you go into, you ask for their block diagram. Audit Them always tells everybody it's like a flow chart. It's got another name, but it's known as a block diagram. You go into the public building and you ask them for their block diagram. It basically shows that, you know, the county manager and then the county assessor or whatever else, and so on down to your dog catcher or your code enforcement officer. Organizational chart, exactly, the tribe. The block diagram or the organizational chart. Well, when you look up the organizational chart for the federal government, it shows the Constitution all the way at the top. And then you got your judicial branch, your executive branch, and your legislative branch. Well, the judicial branch and the legislative branch don't have any branches stemming from them because they stop where they started. But the federal executive branch has a branch that stems from that down to your state, your departments. And then the departments have branches stemming from them down to your agencies. Okay? And your agencies are the local level of the federal executive branch. It's not a separate government. It's just the local level of the same federal executive branch. The flow chart, the organizational chart, the block diagram of the federal government shows the Constitution is at the very top. We, the people, are actually above that because we, the people, are the ones that decide the Constitution. We're the ones that made the Constitution. Our forefathers is what they're called. The people are always on top. Exactly. Exactly, the tribe. Goes the people, the Constitution, the federal executive branch, the federal legislative, or the federal executive branch, federal judicial branch, federal executive branch, federal legislative branch. Then you got your state departments. Then you got your agencies. Down here, way down here. The flow chart, that fucking organizational chart, is very important for every single, we say American and all that shit. Fuck. How am I'm we the people, I'm not a fucking USA citizen. Don't have to be. I'm we the people. People need to get real with what the fuck, because it's not, a lot of people have been talking about these things, like you want to be a lot of people try to say they want to be a state national and all this shit. Well, we don't actually have to have anything. It's not us that needs to know. I mean, we do need to know, but I'm just saying it's not us that has to uphold the equal protection of the law. It's the public service employees that have to uphold the equal protection of the law. The Constitution just reminds them that they're supposed to uphold that. We the people, we should be allowed to be as dumb as rocks. And the people that are holding the places of honor, which is called the office of trust, they should be so honorable that they uphold the Constitution, even if you showcase ignorance. But no, that's not the way they're doing it. The legal system is forcing us to be guilty until we can prove ourselves innocent. So now there's no, we can't. A lot of us are talking today. Like, you could get on YouTube today and see 1,000 comments to say, "Man, we're becoming smarter than the public service agents. We know the law better. We're becoming to know the law better than the public service employees themselves." I guess here's the deal. Just came in to like say something and then jump the fuck out because he hasn't said one more fucking thing about anything again. And while I really appreciate all my regulars that come to speak with me live on my live, I really was hoping Here's the Deal would sit here and speak. Come on, bro. Like, put in some comments. Search the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act for one. Fucking end it. That's cool, Roadhog. I'm hoping that Here's the Deal's lurking. Come on. Fuck. Shit. Where's Chili? Where's fucking LIA's ass? Where's fucking anybody that's large? I've needed to talk to John Felix, but he came in here for a second, but he had to go to New Jersey, which was hella badass. But here I am live again. But maybe he just doesn't know I'm live. Maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe he didn't get the notification. You know what I mean? He'd probably have to look at it. He'd probably have to look for it. Ronnie Johnson was arrested today. I know. Yeah, Ronnie Johnson was arrested today. He's another highly popular one. If anything happens to Grande Johnson, which is rightfully so, everybody goes to his channel trying to figure out what's going on. Help him out, which is rightfully so. Thank the Lord that everybody does that. For LIA, AEC, any of those popular people that, they're so right. Maybe, I'm so right too, who knows? But I'm just saying, shit, I'm not popular, but I do read a lot of things. I study property rights since I was around 12 years old. I know a lot about property rights. When rights are derived from property, so when you freaking understand property rights, you basically understand a law of rights. I'm just saying, our voice is our property. It comes through our vocal cords. Okay? So First Amendment, that's a property right. People think the Fourth Amendment's the property right. The Second Amendment, that's a property right. Guns are property before they're a defensive tool. Like, you have to own a fucking gun to shoot a gun. The Second Amendment is a property right, first and fucking foremost. You cannot bear an arm that you cannot own. What do you mean, Roadhog Kennels? You posted to a live? What? Oh, you posted the live? Oh, awesome. That'd be badass. Thank you, sir. I've seen you chat before and like Northwoods Press live panels. The tribe, I'll vouch for that. You came on my live stream on amateur adverse possession, and you explained a lot. Exactly, the tribe. I've always been poor of the tribe. I was raised by a single mother. I'm the only boy in my family. I have three sisters, and me. And my mom basically raised us with a single job. So I never thought of I didn't think I was gonna be like Donald Trump, where I could just buy so many properties that I could fucking force people off of their property. Like that You've Been Trump documentary that showcases the way that Donald Trump forced that um, Scottish man off of his property. He had a wife to take care of and everything. I bet you that Scottish man felt lower than a fucking ant. Totally dehumanized the motherfucker. Been a while for me too, Ro. I just don't feel like anybody's listening anyway. Yeah, that's a big old part of it, Patrick DeCambra. You can't force people to listen. You can't force people to help you. That's why I understand when I don't get listened to and I don't get help. Which a lot of people have helped me, and I love them. Thank you so much. A lot of people have listened too. Like I got friends. I'm known for making comments, but at the same time, hey William L, good to see you. Same time, I'm not very popular when it comes down to it. As far as like, I don't make the best videos. I say a whole lot of fucking cuss words. Um, I I'm like a Christian that believes in Jesus and everything, but I'm not really a Christian, so I just believe in Jesus Christ and the Lord and our Savior, you know, as the Lord and Savior, or however they say it. I love that. I love that video. It's like a short video of this little girl that went to school and learned about Martin Luther King, and she says, the mom says, "What'd you learn about in school?" And she says, "Martha Luther King." And then the like it sounds like an aunt or a big sister or something in the background says, "Oh yeah, what they teach you about Martin Luther King?" And she said, "He's our Lord and Savior." Or no, no, she says, "He died for our sins." Which is like partly true. I love that short video. What'd you learn about school today? Martin Luther King. Then the mom's like, what Martin Luther, or the aunt or something? What Martin Luther King? What they teach you about Martin Luther King? He died for our sins. Which is partly true. I love that shit. Anyways, yeah, if the people knew about the Pendleton Civil Service Act of 1883, 1883. If the people knew about this act, they could end this act, which would quash the professionalism of the United States government. And no longer would the United States government be treated like a career where they were supposed to get paid for their conscientious performance of their duties, which would now leave them to only serve if they were so honorable to do so. It would limit it would limit the size of the government because not everybody would just join. Only the most honorable people that You might not have even known that only the honorable people would join, because a lot of people would be like, "Well, they don't even pay you. Why would I join? It's dangerous. Why would I join?" It's called honor. It's like if your family and your friends' family, their mothers and sisters didn't have protection, you would join to protect them, not to get paid, like everybody does today. Everybody joins just to get paid. All they do is talk about their overtime pay and their fucking bonus pay and their fucking uh what are they salary pay. Well, none of them are even hired. They're all appointed or elected. A public service employee is either appointed or elected. They don't even get hired. They're actors. They play a role. Ask Ron Durbin. They sign up for a role and they get appointed to that role or elected to that role. They do not get hired. It's not a fucking job. They're masquerading it as a job under this Pendleton Act of 1883. Then 13 years later, they brought in the taxes to pay for their plush little jobs, which taxes destroy equal protection under the law. Because if you have to pay taxes to have rights and services, there goes your equal protection under the law. Anyways, here we are today in 2025, and the fucking public service agents are asking San Joaquin Valley Transparency, "Are you even from Arvin, California?" San Joaquin Transparency has to say, "Do I have to be from San Joaquin or from Arvin, California to be able to come to Arvin, California?" No. Because we're supposed to have equal protections under the law. We're not supposed to be taxpayers in Arvin, California to be able to be in Arvin, California. Taxes are not only theft, they destroy this Article 6 of the United States Constitution. The equal protections clause. You know, the tribe, if you're still here, John Felix got mad at me one time because I talked to him about adverse possession. He's a guy who owns a lot of properties. He makes a living off of renting out his properties, which is the right way. The renter, which is also known as a tenant, actually defends the property for you, not physically defending it from attackers or thieves. They defend it by living in it for you. They pay you to allow them, or to live in it, and that's how you defend a property. But those properties that are just sitting there, not being rented out, somebody thinks is their vacation home in Galveston, Texas, while they live in Seattle, that's an abandoned property. Yeah, you might call it your vacation home, but you haven't been there in 5 years. You abandoned the motherfucker. People have a right to claim it. It's called a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Hello, Raiden Hag. Subbed, huh? Thank you so much. I'm going to have to look you up. Sub back. What'd you sub for? I'm insubordinate. I cuss a lot. I yell. I don't understand why you'd want to sub. Hmm. Hello. I got 3 people, was what YouTube says. 3 people watching, and I thank you. I was hoping, for some reason, I hope that when I come on here to make like such an important rant, that others will be here to watch. You know, here's the deal. Comes on in here, and then he doesn't say another thing. What here's the deal say? He says. But it's still there when I. He says, just got an alert. What's the deal? In 2022, okay, I was protesting. Okay, you married him. That's awesome. So Rodent Hag is married to Here's the Deal? Or are you married to Roadhog? Which one? Rodent Hag? Rodent Hag. Rodent Hag. That's fucking cool. It's a nice insubordinate name. Not everybody's gonna love, you know. Roadhog. That's awesome. Damn, badass. Roadhog deserves to be married. He's handsome, got that nice red hair, freaking is a kind individual, has an awesome soul, you know. Yeah, that guy's cool. Hard worker, goes out, fucking scrapping, a scrapper. That's like one of those jobs that's a lot of work and no play, you know. A lot of work and no pay. Scrapper. I used to scrap a lot with my friend. It was his truck and trailer, you know. I was basically help because I loved him so much. I'd go out there. I wouldn't even ask him for a dime. You know, we'd go out there all day scrapping, and then we'd come back, and then he'd take his wife out to eat, you know, with the money, and then have the money, and then whatever was left over would be fuel money for scrapping again the next day. I mean, I didn't help him every single day of our entire lives, but I helped him for months on end at times, you know, sometimes for 1 week straight, sometimes for only a day, sometimes for months on end. 25 plus years. Damn. That's pretty cool. You've known and liked Roadhog for 25 plus years. I was with my wife for 3 years before we got married. We've been together for 7. So we've been married for 4 years. It's longer than my longest relationship back when I was 19. Now I'm 43 this year. I'll be 43 in November. Well, anyways, yeah, 2022 is when I was arrested. I was attacked by a deputy. He came and shoved me, and I got shoved. I pushed whoever shoved me back. It turned out it was the deputy that shoved me. He says, now you're under arrest for battery on a peace officer. But the thing about it was when he shoved me on camera, 4 different angles, I wasn't under arrest and I wasn't under detainment. So he had no right to fucking touch me when he shoved me. That's why they dismissed my case, summary judgment. But I have 4 other malicious charges pending on, a different the lower court, justice court. The thing about it is, it's awesome, rodent ag. Next, all of a sudden, yeah, I way back then in 2022, I asked Here's the Deal to look at my videos and interview me about it. Could he help me with them? Showcase my videos. but he never got back to me about showcasing my videos. He was in here tonight. I bet you somebody told him, "Yeah, you have rights with saying something about you, blah, 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 blah." So he comes in here this time. You know, the last 2 lives I did, I said something about this. That I asked Brian from Here's the Deal to showcase my videos, to watch my videos, and to help me showcase what's happening to me. And yep, never talked to me about it again. While I was in here tonight, fuck, he could have talked to me about it. I'd have loved that. But no, I'm not that important, not that special. Not gonna happen probably. Which is all right. Doesn't really matter. I'll continue to watch Brian from Here's the Deal. He's popular as shit. He makes good videos. He showcases a lot of fucking shit. You know, you can't make somebody showcase your shit. You can't make somebody like you. You can't make somebody care. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, so while it sours me a bit, and I really do need like justice. I need exoneration. I need attention on my case. I don't blame them one bit. You know, like fucking yeah. I'm speaking about it, but I'm just pointing something out. I'm not mad at them. Not mad at Chili, even though Chili claimed to be my friend for years. Hasn't showcased my fucking shit. He did do a fundraiser and help me bail out of jail when it happened, when I got arrested, which I thank him. I'll always thank him. I'll always thank all the people on the live or on Chili that donated to me on Chili's fundraiser. Thank you so much, people. You know, people like Press On, they don't even believe that we should bail out, which is there's a lot of truth to that. We shouldn't bail out. But like I was telling Press On, try getting arrested in Knight County. If you don't get out on your own recognizance, you got an 8-month stay minimum until trial. If nobody bails you out in Knight County, Nevada, you sit in jail for 8 months minimum waiting trial. Might be looking for Freeman information. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I was searching for Freeman information, but I seen 2 different things. They gave the arrest video to Tuck Police Suck, but the only problem is that he was gonna play it on his channel, but then somebody else was claiming that Bao was gonna play it on Bao's channel, but then somebody said that they didn't play it on Bao's channel, and somebody else was saying, "Oh, how dare you, Bao, play his arrest video on his channel when he needs it for evidentiary information? That the cops don't have the video, so why tell them that we have it and stuff like this?" It was weirder and shit. It's like if something ever happens to me, people, play the shit out of that fucking video. It needs to go. Hopefully, if it would go viral, so that fucking people would know about what happened to me. But there's thousands of people across our country every day that get fucking trampled on. Nobody even fucking knows about them. If you don't bail out, you'll lose it all waiting. Oh, definitely. Hey, Ron Away. I don't know who you are. You say my friend, which is cool. You're my friend too, especially if you consider me a friend. I'll give you a chance. You know, maybe you know more than I do. When we've had more than a chance, and we are friends. Sending love and support. Done contact to you, my friend. Done connect. Done connect to you, my friend. Done. That's cool. Run away. Run away. It's a pretty cool picture. It looks like I can't exactly tell what it is, but it looks like an indigenous man, maybe Hindu. Indian of some sort from India, not Eastern India or whatever you popularity would know it as. I sorry if I butcher everything. I'm not perfect and on top of it. I only know what the world is showing. I got 4 viewers at this time, but yeah, a lot of you might just coming in probably don't know exactly what the hell I'm talking about, and a lot of you that have been here for a while probably know what I'm talking about. I just want to say hi. Hey, thank you, Patrick DeCambria. Next time, if you're not in here, next time I see you, I'm gonna thank you for being here tonight. I just wanted to say hi. I think you have the best name on YouTube. Stay strong. Oh, that's badass, Patrick DeCambria. Fucking cool, bro. I saw a live panel on Denver Metro Audit's channel, which is awesome. I like Denver Metro Audits. He's not. I mean, he's provocative. He's um, in it for the right reasons. Uh, you know, he's doing good. But there was a couple people on his panel, which everybody on his panel was cool. I like everybody on his panel. It's just that some of like AEC and LIA I don't agree with on a lot of things. LIA said the public service agents are just people too, and freaking AEC, Long Island Audit said that one, and then AEC said you got to out professional the professionals. Like he's trying to say, you need to act professional if you're an auditor. To out professional the professionals, it's like what? We the people don't have to have a job or be a professional of any sort to have all rights, privileges, and immunities. And those are supposed to be upheld by the public service employees, which are not people. They cannot be public service employees and serve. They can't serve the people and be the people at the same time. They would just be able to just serve themselves. Oh my gosh, what they're doing today. They all think that they're working a job. They all think that they're working a career for a business. They all freaking think, they basically all think that the public service buildings are fucking private property. It's disgusting. And then I have people that I look up to, like Long Island Audit, saying, cops are people too. And then people I look up to, like Auditing Erie County, saying, you got to out professional the professionals. And then saying the things like, I just think that a lot of auditors are provoking their language and everything. It's like, when you make a claim over property, that claim should be a belligerent claim. The thing about it is that all rights are derived from property. The First Amendment is a property right. The Second Amendment is a property right. The Third Amendment is a property right. The Fourth Amendment is a property right. Exactly. Auditing Erie County saying that swearing is an unneeded confrontation. No. Some people have Tourette's syndrome. They just sit there and fuck, shit, oh, fuck, damn, piss, fuck, shit. What the cops are able to just grab them by their fucking neck, slam them down on the ground, put handcuffs on them because they said the fuck word too many times? No. That's what saying the cuss word too many times is a test of. We're supposed to test them to see if they treat everybody equally and uphold rights. So yes, Roadhog, you're on top of it, bro. Freeman just got an alert. Oh, there was just an alert on Freeman's page. He might be out. Hopefully. Yep. Hey, I'm gonna watch this video and I'm gonna do a little reaction to it. Go pigs under pressure. Fucking fucking provocative badass. Yeah, that's badass. The cop saying he made a mistake. And could they go down there and try to fucking get him? A lot of you already know probably about this. Oh, this one's saying kidnapping a friend for the government. Oh, maybe that wasn't. This is an old life, huh? Shit, which one is it? Is it on free? Is it on James Freeman? Okay, I was attacked. Awesome. Okay, thank you, Rodent Hag. Fuck yeah, thank you, Roadhog. You guys are cool. Thank you for having my back. That other one was badass too. I'm gonna say hi to people in chat. Here's the deal. It is in Freeman's chat right now, so you know what? Hell yeah. Here's the deal. You have tons of people's back. I hope you come and have mine. And plus, on top of it, I just hope that you listen and just listen to what I comprehend. That's what I need. One day, here's the deal. Maybe, if you could, pretty please.
that he could do worse. I don't know for sure. Speculating, you know, I'm gonna say my adrenaline is probably still going to what happened. There's no doubt in my mind that he wanted to do that. He came out there that I've never seen so angry, so personally frustrated and about being exposed and whatnot. That man came blood and I'm glad I haven't got past physics. I had. I think he wants to try to escalate the whole plot. Seriously. So. Maybe it's pretty awesome. So there it is. I told them, look, I don't want. I mean, I got to think about it because I don't like what the state does either. So I think that people who violently attack other people think that they need to find a way to stop or society, and that's what no one did. In my opinion, I believe it's a dangerous violence. But at the same time,
the intentions of that cop trying to get James Freeman to defend himself, so that the cop James thinks apparently that the cop seemed to want to hurt James and attack James to try to get James to defend himself, so that the cop could defend or could whoop James even harder. And all I want to say to James Freeman is that your apparent thoughts on that are more than likely true. Well, actually or apparently may or may not have, your thoughts on that are more than likely true. That's due to evidence of what we know that these cops try to goad. They try to coerce you to do. They coerce you to act, and then they damage you for the action. And it's wrong of those cops.
I felt that I owed it to you guys from live. Thank you guys for all of your support. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Get more details of the story.
It's a lot of the reasons why I had to leave my home. When I did leave my home to seek asylum, political asylum, was that they had threatened to bind, gag, and medicate me when I got into custody. So basically, my next time being in their custody would be at trial, which was a month from the day I left. For my own safety. I don't have to comply with their unlawful actions, their unlawful orders, their malicious prosecution that lacks foundation, probable cause. I don't have to comply with that, especially when they're threatening to bind, gag, and medicate me when they get me into custody. So basically, I chose to leave because what they were trying to do was get me to further defend myself. They were trying to get me to further. I had already showcased to them that I was brave enough to defend myself. That when the deputy shoved me, that I would shove back. When I proved to them that when you touch me, I touch back. So basically, that they were going to attempt to further threaten me and further coerce me into doing some things to defend myself, and then they would use that as an excuse to harm me. And that's exactly what James Freeman felt that the deputy or that the cop today tried to do to him. Exactly, the tribe. Yeah, I kind of got to do a reaction video to James Freeman's live right now, but at the same time, it basically consisted of me staring at my phone screen like this silently. I remembered. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be reacting to this thing. Oh shit, I'm goofy. And Guardia. Yeah, my español es poquito. Kinetic Customs and Racing. Yeah, mi español es poquito. But shit, in the year and a half that I've been here, it's hella more bigger. Exactly. You know, I told Reluctant Prophet and Michael Eline that what they were doing to Lane Myers was a what's known as a slap suit. A slap suit is to stifle your public participation. That's what the PP on the end of slap. It's actually SLAPP, suit. But it's got you put a dash between slap and suit. It's SLAPP dash suit. And you're supposed to do an anti-slap to their slap suit. Nevada, the agency known as the state of Nevada, claims to allow an anti-slap, making a anti-slap suit within the state known as a powerful slap suit, anti-slap. But they don't. You know, the agency known as the state of Nevada claims to uphold an anti-slap suit, like very strongly. But no, they don't. They honor their own slap suits way more than they honor our anti-slap suits. It's all about immersing yourself in the culture. Exactly. And that was French, by the way. Oh, yeah. And yeah, that's probably, and it's probably Spanish and French then. Garde, and Garde. Anyways, well, thanks for telling me it's French, anyways, because I was going to look it up, you know, because I don't want to just see it. I want to know about it. But I would have looked it up in Spanish and then it would have said something, which I'm going to look it up in both. So, you know, that's just how I am. Kinetic Customs. Check it out. When I put this up in here, it says that En Guardia is En Guardia, which En Guardia would be in guard in Spanish. In guard, or is it unguard? In guard, on guard, in guard, in guard. The sport fencing. Yeah, that'd be badass. Please don't poop on my bed, puppy. Actually, I want to open up the door so that my puppies can go outside. I had it shut because the dog's out there barking. And I didn't know how it would be at the start of my life. But at the same time, if they bark right now, I'm knee deep in my life, so I wouldn't give a fuck. Somebody back, oh, what are those barking dogs? The sport fencing, that's badass. Before the start of a fencing bout, the referee typically gives a series of commands in French. En garde, prêt, and allez. Allez, allez. I don't know how to say any of those. In English, these translate to on guard, ready, and go. Respectively, French fencers will respond to prêt or ready with a verbal or nonverbal confirmation, often by assuming the starting position. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There you go. Yeah, grab ankles, definitely. No, whenever you get pulled over, just jump out of your car, pull over, park your fucking shit, jump out with your ass facing the cop, and fucking just spread your cheeks, because it's coming anyways. How you doing tonight, Kinetic Customs? I wonder if Brian would come in here again, or I wonder if fucking John Felix would come back in here. I want to talk to those guys. I want to talk to somebody with like over 500,000 subscribers. I want to talk to the popular ones. Not that you guys aren't more important. You guys are way more important. You guys are my regulars. They're always going to be more important. But I'm just saying, I want to talk to the popular ones, to over 500,000 subscribers, so that I can tell them about my comprehension of some things, so that they can possibly comprehend it too, so that they can tell the people, because they have more subscribers. Everyone was just on James Freeman's live. Exactly. Yep. Because James Freeman is one of the other populars with over 500,000 subscribers. So James Freeman, if he was assaulted or battered today, he's lucky. He's popular. Everybody will know about his unlawful arrest. Lucky for him. Much lucky for him, which it should be. So I'm so thankful that he has all the help he got. He's doing a lot of good things for our nation. Same with Brian from Here's the Deal. Same with John Felix. Same with Chile. Same with LIA and Auditing America, Auditing Erie County, DMA.
Make this public. Oh, there we go. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm alive. I wanted to go live though. I kind of didn't want to go live. I just wanted to come home and put my kids to bed. But I did want to go live to tell everyone who was watching, who heard what went on today. Thank you guys for.
Everybody heard what went on today, bro. You're important.
I'll just briefly tell you, I was physically attacked by John Noland in Sarita, Arizona today. John Noland is the police chief. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I've been in custody for 6 hours. I was doing some work and I was physically attacked. I was
Man, James is emotional. It sucks getting in their custody and they're attacking you, doing shit to you that you can't do anything about.
Chief accused me of felony aggravated assault.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Police officer on him, which is the same thing that happened to me.
Yeah, that's cool, Connecticut Customs. I used to, you know.
Years ago when I was attacked by a DPS agent.
Let's OTVO and Rick Jonesy became moderators over there at Chili's, and basically after I was a moderator for Chili for years, they took away my wrench and other shit over there. So then on top of it, Chili wasn't really showcasing what had been happening to me. So with that, even though he wasn't showcasing what happened to me, I still kept on being supported, like being a moderator for him and going to his channel every single day. But once Brick Jonesy, and which I'm friends with Brick Jonesy now again, and Let's OTVO. I mean, I don't know. So I wouldn't say friends. I would say we put up with each other again, you know. But like I'm nice to them, and they're cordial with me, you know, or nice to me. So that's how it's gonna be. But yeah, they are the two that fucking became moderators over there at Delete Laws, and then took away my wrench and other things. Chili would have to be the one that took away my wrench. I wouldn't say that any moderator could take away your wrench, but there was a lot of stuff going on at the time. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on at the time. Good to see you, Ripple Effect. Thanks for coming in here tonight. I was watching that DMA live panel, which there was a lot of cool people on it. I seen some stuff that AEC said and LIA said, and I had to go live just to rant about it. Even though I like LIA and Auditing Erie County, Long Island Audit, I like them. It's just that they said a couple things I won't never be able to agree with. So the dog was barking at one of my neighbors, probably three houses down, and I hear this little girl say, "Shut up!" I'm glad James is out and went live. Let us all know that he's okay. He's important. It's happened a couple of times, but from what I've seen, always go wrench back. Yeah, I never went back to ask for my wrench back. I never wanted to be a moderator on Chili's channel anyways. He just made me a moderator. You know, I didn't ask for it or nothing. I don't really like being a moderator. On top of it, you know, I like Chili still. I love him. He's helped me out. He used to talk to me privately on the phone, you know, and he was a friend of mine when he didn't have to be. I like that, you know. I'll always like Chili. But whether, you know, I agree all the time or not, that's not a thing. But at the same time, yeah, I have a hard time. I thought if I got a public service agent on camera flipping me off from behind the public glass, like standing in a public office saying, "Here's your rights," I thought if I had that on video, that fucking a lot of people would see that and be like, "Oh hell no," you know. But no, my videos are there. No, but video didn't go viral for nothing, you know. I thought for sure that if, you know, I stayed a week with Chili a couple weeks ago. He's a great dude. Fuck yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool you got to stay a week with Chili. I was hoping that, like, because when I got arrested, I got arrested for battery upon a peace officer, and I even filed my own paperwork to fucking get that shit dismissed. I filed writ of special appearance. I filed affidavit of change of status. I filed a motion of default for them to show probable cause. Then the time limit allowed. I actually gave them 5 extra days than the state of Nevada statute says for a response on a motion. But they failed to respond with probable cause in 15 consecutive days, which was the statute by the state of Nevada or whatever the agency. And they dismissed the judge dismissed for lack of probable cause summary judgment. But yeah, nobody even thinks that's not even very important, I guess. But anyways, yeah, when I got arrested for that, Chili fucking instantly fucking picked up. We had been talking a little, I've done a couple things for Chili, and Chili's done a lot of things for me. He did one great big thing for me, which was raise the money to bail me out when I got arrested in 2022 for battery upon a peace officer, which 4 camera angles proved that he actually battered me. I wasn't under arrest or detainment when he put his hands on me. And if there wasn't 4 cameras there, that charge would never have been dismissed. Anyways, yeah, he jumped right to doing a fundraiser for my bail. Was in contact with my family for the whole entire 6 days I was in jail. And then when he raised up the money to bail me out, the whatchamacallit wouldn't go directly through the PayPal, not PayPal, but the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe wouldn't go directly through Cash App or whatever it was. It was either GoFundMe or Cash App. It wouldn't instantly release the money. So basically, Chili had to pay out of pocket the money that was sitting in Cash App or PayPal, GoFundMe, whichever one. And that's how Chili helped get me out of bail after I was in jail for 6 days in Nye County. For I actually got battered by the police officer or by the deputy, but since I was brave enough to, push back, I got arrested for battery upon a peace officer. If it wasn't for the videos, I wouldn't have got the case dismissed. But yes, I filed the motions, to get me released. I wish Chili would have fucking showcased what had happened to me years ago, 2022 all the way through to 2025. I'm still being maliciously prosecuted in the matter, even though that my original charge was dropped. They offered me a deal throughout the whole. My trial was supposed to be in January 16th or 17th, 2024, but from 2022 October 25th, 2022, all the way to January 16th, 2024, I was being maliciously prosecuted for that battery upon a peace officer charge, and there was nobody talking about it. I tried to get Brian's attention. I was thinking that Chili would pick that shit up right away. I was being transported because it's like a 2-hour transport to the jail the day I got arrested. And hey, Luscant, 2-hour transport to the jail from where I got arrested. And before we even got to the fucking jail, when we were like 3/4 through the 2-hour transport, fucking the deputy that had arrested me, who had actually battered me, but then arrested me for battery on him, fucking he said, "Oh man, there's tons of people calling from all around the country, Florida, Texas, New York." You know, and I was thinking in the police car shit that fucking people were calling in about my arrest. You know, that people were interested, but no. Another one is the main one basically is freedom from government, because freedom from government was like living outside my home. Like I let him, I love him. You know, I love him. He used to live on my easement. You know, plugged him into my house, never even charged him to stay there for. I don't know. I don't remember a time I ever asked him for any money for the electric bill. Uh, he let me go live on his channel with over 100,000 something subscribers, 160,000 something subscribers at the time. Yeah, he's a badass. I love him. But he never really showcased my videos after that either. So he only has 100 and some thousand subscribers. I thought for sure one of these dudes would fucking showcase my videos. You know, like help me out a little bit. You know, I've donated to people in the movement, or whatever you'd want to call it. The assembly is what I like to call it, the assembly, because we have a right to assemble. So, you know, we have the right to assemble anywhere in public or anywhere in the nation. So basically, what we're doing is an assembly. They want us to call it a movement, or they want us to call it a community, but we have the right to assemble. So why not call it an assembly? It's only right, just, and proper. Chili doesn't cover any video that don't have action or drama. Well, you know, that's not all the way true. You know, because my video there's action and drama. You know, I got one where the deputy attacks me unlawfully. I got one where the public service employee is flipping me off from the public glass. Got some more videos where the public service agents making physical threats at me. You know, that's all action and drama. It's that you know, there's a lot of things that are happening across our nation that are hella horrible. Chili showcases a lot of badass shit, like fucking that are hella horrible, like cops shooting black people that are unarmed, fucking cops shooting men that are unarmed in general. That one, you know, Jamie Sheets, I think his name was. Why can't I remember his name? James Sheets, I believe it was. Christie's husband, fucking baby's daddy. You know, those are important people. Chili does a lot of showcasing videos for bad injustices like that, you know. That's why I say, you know, yeah, I'm fucking kind of a little surprised and fucking annoyed a little bit privately about these guys not showcasing my videos or showing interest in my injustice, but there's so much injustice, you know. You cannot force somebody to show interest in your injustice or your case. So that's why you can't blame them for not doing it. But you know, there's so much fucking hella bad shit going on. We couldn't even possibly fucking cover everything that's happening to everybody, with all the things that are happening almost on a daily basis across our country or our nation, across the people's nation, we the people, or something. You know, because a lot of my friends don't even believe in that. It's like James. He's a anarchy camp Like he believes in anarchy. I'm not sure if he's an anarchy communist, but no, it's what am I saying? He believes it's volunteerism. You know. Sorry, James. I'm not perfect. I got dyslexia. I got some other uh, learning disabilities, comprehension disabilities. So I'm not perfect, but at the same time, I'm not fucking unworthy either. You know, I people with mental illness have rights. You know, uh, equal protection under the law was supposed to protect the richest man and the poorest man. It was supposed to protect the most intelligent man and the most stupid man. It was supposed to protect the most ignorant and the most intelligent, or learned, or whatever you'd want to call the opposite of ignorance. Um, it's equal protection is being destroyed right now. It's like Brian was pointing out. Donald Trump said, "Take the guns first, due process second." Basically, um, Brian's been trying to point that one out. Trump hates due process. He wants to get rid of due process yesterday. He doesn't want due process for illegal aliens or gun rights activists. Um, I don't understand how he's getting away with calling human beings illegal aliens, because we have human rights. So to call a human an illegal alien would be dehumanizing. In and of itself, it would be a crime against humanity. Um, on top of it, when you call somebody an illegal alien, everybody that's legal, they must be legal aliens then, right? Or legal. But anyways, you know, well, we don't have, the thing about it is, if you believe that somebody can be an alien, then you can believe anybody can be an alien. Therefore, they can alienate your rights. That's what they really want to do, is alienate your rights. So they get like half or more of the country to call people illegal aliens, ignorantly too, void of all human rights, void of all humanity. There's a mass number of people in the United States of America, as we know it, that fucking believe that people are walking across a border illegally. Like, there's only one Earth, people, and we all have the right to travel as humans. That's a human right. That's a fundamental, natural human right, the right to free movement and travel. I'm just saying. So basically, they prove that fucking millions of Trump voters believe that these group of people can be illegal aliens, therefore setting the stage for the future that they can call any motherfucking group of people an alien of some sort. Alienating rights, the exact thing that they're not supposed to be doing. Some have said just 8 types of shrooms alleviate. Is that word alleviate? Because I can't see, it's behind that stupid money sign. All these diseases. Oh, that's badass to try. Yeah, I don't get enough of mushrooms. I love mushrooms. They're so peaceful and funny. I love watching movies. I've watched Fight Club on mushrooms. That's an entirely different movie. I watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas for the first time on acid. But that was a badass movie. That was like hanging out with the boys when I was on acid. But shrooms aren't as potent as acid. But when you watch movies, it's almost like the same thing. I watched this cartoon, Matrix. It was like the movie Matrix, but it was the cartoon version. Morpheus, I think Neo was a black character, skinny. Or that was Morpheus. Either Morpheus was a skinny black guy or Neo was a skinny black guy. I couldn't remember, but I think it was Neo, because in the cartoon version he was cast as a black guy, and then in the movie version he was cast as a white guy, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It's a cartoon form of the Matrix. That it was. It was if you purchased the Matrix movies back in like the early 2000, the like say 2010, 2011. If you 2000, yeah, around there, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. If you purchased the Matrix movie and you purchased the entire set of films that was available at the time, the collection came along with the cartoon of the Matrix, and I believe that's the one that we watched on mushrooms. That thing was fucking badass. Telling you what. Um, yeah, and they're not harmful to you. They're not gonna get harmed on that. No, I have a good time because I got an open mind. I don't try to be like, oh fuck, everything's so scary. Like, what if this? I don't get all paranoid or anything. I kind of try to remain open minded. You know, I've never seen the spiders that make me feel all scared, no, or anything. No bad trips. I've never had a bad trip on psychedelics. Has a lot to do with the way me and my best friend raised ourselves, though. You know, my best friend's dad always bought him dirt bikes and stuff, and he used to come to my town, the town I was raised in. He'd come to town every summer to see his dad because his mom and dad were divorced, split up, and he'd come live with his dad for the summers. So basically, I'd hang out with them all summer long, and nobody else in town would know him hardly. But then, so um, when when he turned 13 and came to school there in town, he moved out there from Reno, and he basically I knew him, but nobody else in class knew him that much. So uh, everybody in school wondered why I was already best friends with the new kid, stuff like that. On top of it, um, when it came to when in Reno, I guess they didn't teach. He didn't learn reading that great. So and I knew that from being his best friend since 10 years old. And um, now he moves to town when he's 13. And I knew he didn't know how to read that great. So when we were in English class, he was me and his favorite videos. What movie was Billy Madison? Billy Madison, and freaking so he's sitting there reading in English class, and he was having a hard time. But he was smart as me, but he knew as much as me. He just didn't know how to read as great. But anyways, I wasn't making fun of him because he's my best friend. I knew he didn't know how to read that great. I said, today, Junior, when he was reading, and my English teacher came and grabbed my desk and like basically picked it up like 6 inches and slammed it with me sitting in it, right? And then he dragged he dragged me in the desk out to the hallway and made me stay out in the hallway for the rest of the class. And it was funny because it was just me uh, basically reciting a Billy Madison quote to my best friend, who I knew didn't know how to read, and who I knew that my best friend and I watched that movie like several different times. You know what I mean? And that was our favorite movie of like '97. You know, only time. Oh, yeah. Well, weird. Anyways. Well, weird. Anyway. Spent 2 hours in concrete urinal. Wife trying to talk me out to take me to the pop-up boshes. Your wife tried to get you out. Then let me just go back and fake movie. Our favorite movie on Boomers It's Team America. Oh, that'd be badass. I've never tried Team America yet. I need to try Team America Kinetic Customs for real. I grow them badass. Yeah, I know how to grow them, but I've never tried to grow them yet. You need the right conditions underneath the right amount. The bed needs to be underneath the bed needs to get like a sunlight, but it needs to be like a reflected sunlight where like if you had like a white linoleum floor in a dark room where just a sliver of light came through the window and shone off the linoleum, reflecting the light up underneath the bottom of the bed. And then you have to make it like hella uh like moist and warm. You know, you want it to be like moist and warm, but they have kits that you can buy that fucking make it easy where you get the substrate, you sprinkle the spores on, or you spray the spores on, and then they come in a bag where it stays moist and fucking. I don't. I've never got the kit, but I know a lot about it. I was tripping all week at NASCAR Phoenix. Badass. That'd be the only way to go to a NASCAR for all weekend. Like, oh shit, I know I like NASCAR, but fuck, watching it on TV go around in circles, turning left all the time is hard enough. Let alone being there all weekend. But I bet you all weekend is fun. They probably fucking have badass fans out there running amok and fucking making it fun. No, I've never seen Scanners Darkly. Is that a movie? Scanners Darkly? I started tripping out riding golf cart on way to track. Hell yeah. Spent 2 hours in concrete urinal, wife trying to talk me out to take me to the pop-up bashes. Dang, bro. Like you went into the urinal and fucking stayed in there for a while, huh? Like, oh shit, don't want to come out. No, fuck, no. That's funny. Have you seen? I thought when you said the concrete urinal, I thought that you went through the bottom of the plastic urinal down into the fucking concrete below, was stuck down there in the poopy for 2 hours. Like, holy shit. That's how I first read that. Bash's is grocery store. Huh. No, I've never seen that. Yeah, because if you drink mild, it will bring you right back down. Oh, milk. Sorry. Don't overthink it. Laugh out loud. Moist. Yeah. He said moist. Never used kit. Oh, that's badass. No all week. I took two vacations a year, NASCAR and NASCAR. That's funny. Yes, movie Keanu Reeves. You think Fear and Loathing is weird. Watch Scanners Darkly. Oh, badass. I can't wait. Keep that one. I'm gonna have to watch the movie without it being on acid, or I mean on shrooms first, or maybe maybe the first time I come across it, I have an eighth and I'm looking for it. If I have an eighth anytime soon, haven't seen an eighth in 4 years. So, 3 to 4 years. No, my wife has been married to me for 4 years, so yeah, it was prior to us getting married. It's been a little over 4 years since I was on mushrooms. Don't ride in that poop off my ass off. Phoenix is the only track they race twice each year. Wow. Badass. I didn't really keep up with NASCAR. I like to watch it every once in a while. When I do watch NASCAR, I fucking basically pull my hair up like this and slap the back of my neck, prepare for the race. Prepare for wake myself up, sit there and watch the race for the next sometimes 4 hours. I think this Daytona is one of them long ass races. I can't believe we're in a country we're in a country where we're supposed to be a lot more freer than we are, and where we're supposed to have a lot more rights than we are shown. And um, you know, our people are supposed to be versed on human rights and be upholding human rights more than limiting them. And it's opposite all the way around. Um, I wish I was able to. I don't know. It's probably going to take like a sit down with somebody for a couple hours. That's another thing. Is that the things that I want to talk with these people for I have to show them where they can find these things. And I have to go over it with them to remind their comprehend to show them my comprehension of it, so then they can fucking read the shit themselves and discern it the same way that I'm discerning it. Because there's so many levels to why how I'm discerning these things. Like I said, auditing them, he always talks about a block diagram. The tribe reminded me that the block diagram is also known as an organizational chart. The federal government has an organizational chart. It says in the organizational chart that fucking the Constitution is at the top of the federal government. The fucking um, executive branch, legislative branch, and the judicial branch are under that. And then there is nothing under the judicial branch and the legislative branch, only under the executive branch. And under that should the departments, and then under those is the agencies. So basically, I don't give a shit what they tell you. The local, state, and federal government's the same executive branch under the federal government. The agencies are just the local government, the local level. The other thing is that Article 1, I believe. My friend just got home. His dog's gonna cry. I'm gonna shut my door so nobody bothers me. Sometimes my friend likes to bother me when he gets home from work. He wants to either smoke with me or have me smoke with him, depending on what he has or doesn't have. So basically, I don't want to be bothered right now. I'm live on YouTube, which is important to me. Danger Boy. His dog cries when he gets home because he loves him. He loves him so much that every time he gets home, his dog cries. It's a sign of affection. It's like, oh my God, fuck, you're home. Oh my God, I've been waiting for you all fucking day. Where the fuck have you been? I can't wait till you get home. You always let me out to play when you get home. That's why I can't wait to see you. I want to go out and play a little bit, and then we can come in here and you can feed me and you can pet me and all this other fucking shit. That's basically what the dog is saying while he's crying like that. It sounds to us like somebody's killing a dog downstairs or something. Rub that sexy beard. Oh shit, was I? You're funnier than shit, Kinetic Customs. You better stay the fuck away from me, boy. No, I'm acting like Mantan when he had Andy Dick on his little talk cup. This kid, he's like a Republican. Well, I don't know if he's a Republican. He's like a conservative type show host of a podcast, like Joe Rogan type podcast. Mantan. I don't know if you've come across him. He had Andy Dick on his channel, and Andy Dick is hella funny. But yeah, Mantan kept pulling his desk away from him, and he kept treating Andy Dick like he was gay. It was funny and shit. Poon down, Quan down. The fuck? I have an idea of what poon is if you're talking about pussy, but I don't know what fuck Quan is. Maybe you're not talking about that at all. Oh yeah. In my old age, I got a little raspy something in my chest right here that when something naturally sparks me to laughter, all of a sudden something in my chest right here tickles and fucking forces me to cough. It's probably something weird that I don't want to know about, or maybe it's just old age. 3 days ago, Chuck Bronson's chat people begged people. Oh shit! I can't see us behind that stupid money sign. StreamYard should move the stupid money sign. StreamYard needs to move the stupid money sign somewhere where it's not in the way of people's chat. You're gonna have to say googly gook or something, Kinetic Customs, because I can't read your message until it scrolls up one. There's 3 people in here watching, and I don't know which 3 people that is, so I don't know how to say hello to them or welcome them in or anything. Okay, okay. 3 days ago, Chuck Bronson chat people begging me to stop. Oh, okay. Yeah. On Gilbert Bystander's channel, almost offered someone in England choking on his dinner. Oh, almost off someone. Thank God his wife was there to give him Heimlich. Oh shit. That would suck if it wasn't. The tribe says Chuck saves lives every day. Salute him. Oh shit, yeah, he does, Chuck's a badass. Chuck Bronson in the bait car. Which one? Cow. Tribe, you and I. Yeah, definitely. That's cool. Kinetic Customs. Dang. Too bad LIA didn't come in here. I think he thinks he's too big to. Maybe he would come in here, but yeah, it'd sure be nice to tell him about fucking why I think the way I do. Like, bro, no, public service agents aren't just people too. Thomas Jefferson said that when a man assumes a public trust, that man should assume himself as public property. You cannot be a public service agent and the people that you're supposed to serve at the same time. Public service is a public trust requiring employees to show loyalty to the Constitution, ethical standards, and the laws and the rights of the people above private gain for agent or agency. Something like that. Article 1, Section 9, I believe it is. It's either, I think it's Section 8. Article 1, Section 8, if I'm not mistaken, says there's a difference between the office of gain and an office of trust. Public service is an office of trust. Public service is a public trust. Offices of trust shouldn't be gaining at all. Article 4, Section 4 says that public service, the government should guarantee and protect the Republican form of government to all Americans or whatever, or all people, all the people. Basically, you could call it whatever you want to, but they have to guarantee the Republican form. In a true constitutional republic, public service is a public trust. Under a public trust, they have ethical standards. Ethical standards say they're not supposed to even seek financial gain for the conscientious performance of their duties. It doesn't say for their professional duties. It says for their conscientious duties. I don't know how much more to fucking ways to say this, but this shit is highly important. And in 7 years I've been studying this, nobody's listened to me about its importance. They've said, oh yeah, those have been written for a long time and nobody even gives a shit about them. And that's why I'm trying to remind everybody about them. Because after 7 years of me saying that public service isn't a profession, tonight I hear Auditing Erie County say you have to out-professional the professionals. Basically, he's talking about how he doesn't cuss and swear at them and he doesn't provoke them because he's a professional. He's more professional than the public service agents themselves, he believes. When the ethical standards of public service doesn't say their professional duties, it says their conscientious duties. Conscientious is a higher standard than professional. Conscientious is fucking means that consciously you have to make these decisions to choose to be conscious of these things, to fucking use your conscience to fucking make it to where you don't commit dishonorable acts. If you get caught being conscientious, you're supposed to be either retrained, reassigned, or terminated from your position because you're unfit to serve public. That's the way the ethical standards are written. That's the way the fucking provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct is written. These are not my opinions. I didn't make this shit up. Most of this shit was made up before I was even fucking born. There's no way I can make this shit up. That's all I'm saying. These are provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct. Yes, they are important. Yes, now that we have cameras, we can record them in their conduct, which was what we're supposed to be doing this whole time, the course of their public duties. So with the camera and the provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct, we can show them where they're wrong. Audit them fucking tries to do this with, he got a whole clipboard. He goes in there, he fucking uses the fucking he uses the fucking provisions that the state allows for he uses the fucking provision called the FOIA. And it's the way the FOIA is supposed to be handled, the rules, which is called the provisions of law set to regulate the FOIA. He uses that. He uses the provisions of law set to regulate the FOIA to remind the public service agents why they're supposed to be doing the public records, releasing public records for the sole benefit of the public too. They're not supposed to be charging Audit Them money to get public records. They're supposed to be providing those public records free of charge. They're the people's public records. The public has a right to know how the public has a right to know how they're handling me, the neighbor. Okay? So that maybe if they're treating me wrong, you can fucking stop them from treating me wrong before they treat you wrong. That was the whole fucking point of transparency and accountability. It highly matters. I don't understand how Chile can be so fucking famous for fucking saying overturn Terry versus Ohio and being like knowing a lot of constitutional shit, but at the same time, everybody overlooks what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct. Maybe it's my delivery. You don't like the tone of my fucking voice. I don't fucking know, but I'm not very popular. That's why I try to talk to people like fucking LIA and fucking James Freeman and fucking John Felix and fucking Brian from Here's the Deal, because they are popular. They do have a good delivery. I have a comprehension that I feel is above that of some of those guys. But I'm not popular for nothing. I got 600 subscribers. My live gets 4 viewers at any given point, maybe up to as much as 12. But I ain't getting no 120 viewers. You know, I'm not getting 1,000 viewers making my chat run like this, like James Freeman's was tonight when he got arrested, got his rights violated, got assaulted and battered by the pigs. Sorry if I'm not reading the chats that great, guys. I'm trying to stay focused on what I'm ranting about. This shit is important to me. I wish I could get it out even further. For some reason, I'm talking clear tonight. Like I'm fucking not. Some of my words are. I'm having a hard time with some of my words, but I'm not having a hard time with all my words. Something that's coming off the dome piece for some reason tonight. I got a fire up under my ass a little bit or something. I think it's coming from a place of like a fire inside. Fuck that round hole square peg. I can make anything fit anywhere. I only need 2 things, time and pressure. Yeah. Yeah, if we're strong enough to apply the pressure, I think we can get her done. The term is fiduciary duty of care. I don't know what that was in reference to fully. I was talking about other things, but I can't remember. Sorry. The tribe. Fuck that round hole square peg. Okay, I read that one. Chili knows case law. Yeah, he does. Which is not law. I have a very hard time believing Chile is a constitutionalist, at least in public. He's got there for he's got a passion that's moved in a direction, but like I only have 600 subscribers, but I had my whole passion, of ethical standards, provisions of law set to regulate his or her official duty, plus the right to travel. I had that before I met Chili. Started speaking with Chili every single day. But I also found time every single day to go down Chili's path of overturn Terry versus Ohio and the other stuff. Whereas even Chili, he even goes against my beliefs, but I still keep supporting him. Where he fucking tells everybody to have that driver card and that you have to be licensed, registered, and insured. When I'm not paying a license to use my fucking property. It's my property. Yes, Chili, you can call it your property too, but I have a right to use it. So you use it the way you want to with your license, registration, and insurance. And I'll use it the way I want to use it without some agency trying to tell me that I have to fucking have a license, registration, and insurance just to use my property. I'm not a fucking stupid motherfucker. I know how to fucking get in my property, turn the key on or other starting device, and fucking roll that motherfucker in a straight line or in a curve when you need to turn and everything. I know for a fact that they've made turn signals to indicate to people which way you were going to head, so that maybe they didn't head that way prior to you heading that way, so that you don't come into a collision. But in no shape or form is it unlawful if, oops, you forgot to turn that turn signal on. So yes, while I like to observe safety rules, I don't fucking believe that safety rules should be enforced like laws. Because sometimes people forget to turn on the blinker. But did they hurt nobody? No, that's a crime. It's not a crime. They didn't hurt nobody. But then if you ask Chili, I have to have a driver card, okay? And I don't want a driver card. I don't ever want a driver card. Sorry. Not that you're stupid or anything, or that you're not on the right track for some, because some people are drivers. Some people are employed to use an automobile to move packages for shipment or sales. That's not me. I'm a private individual using my roads. Yes, they might be your roads too to use, but if I'm there first, I have the first right to use. Meaning, if I'm traveling down the lane, you can't just come and sideswipe me out of the lane because I'm in the fucking lane and you don't want me to be. I have the right to use that lane just like you have the right to fucking use that lane. Hey, Birdie P, thanks for coming in tonight. When he learns new info, he recesses it at the core. Exactly. You know, that's exactly right. Kinetic Customs Racing. The our biggest fucking our biggest teacher that we have is a 200-year-old case that's called Marbury versus Madison that teaches us that there's a difference between lawful and legal, and that sometimes we think one way, but if it comes to be that fact proves that it's different, we shouldn't be so fucking ignorant that we want to fight that fact and say no and not learn. You know, we have to have an open mind. We have to be able to be open to discernment. The Constitution is a living document for a reason. It's supposed to be amended in case we find out that slavery, which we've been performing for hundreds of years, has been repugnant of law from its conception, not from the time it was found to be repugnant. So the thing about it is while we were performing slavery, as it was legal to perform slavery up until the point where we realized that it was unlawful. But that doesn't have to do with Marbury versus Madison. Marbury versus Madison has to do with a similar issue, which is the lack of compensation for or just pay. Marbury was supposed to get paid by Madison a commission, and Madison wanted to withhold Marbury's commission. The state, which was the lower court, initially upheld the decision that Madison could withhold Marbury's pay, but when it went to the higher court, the Supreme Court recognized withholding somebody's pay when they're due that pay as a it was wrong to withhold somebody's pay, which an office of trust is not supposed to get paid for because it's not an office of gain. There's offices of gain and there's offices of trust in the government, and offices of gain, I think, have are in the position of gaining monetary value, and offices of trust, they're not supposed to gain. They're not supposed to seek private gain for agent or agency. So basically, if I was seeking a paycheck, I would be seeking private gain, where public service employees are not supposed to be seeking that private gain. The number 2 says they're not supposed to be seeking financial gain. So fucking, how are they going to seek financial gain for the conscientious performance of their duties? That would be an act of private gain for agent or agency. These agencies today are buying cars and other property for their agents and then selling with using tax dollars, our money, and then selling these properties after they claim that they're used up, and then taking the money from these sellings and not giving that tax money back to the people, but keeping that tax money for their own agency. Now they're getting all the tax money for that agency and the money that they spent on selling the property that we paid for years earlier in their auctions and shit. They are committing fucking wrongs right and left. They've been wrong. And no matter how long they've been wrong, does not mean they haven't been wrong the whole time. They're not there. It's not. It's not wrong from the time we find out that it was repugnant the whole time. It's wrong from the conception. So slavery is a case where it proves that legal is not lawful. Marbury versus Madison is a case that proves that legal is not lawful. And fucking what I just described is another case of proving that it's legal, not lawful. Sorry, I had a brain compunction because fucking I'm wishing that I could download my brain comprehension on these matters into people's brains, and that they would get to retain everything that they knew before and retain everything that I know. That would be fucking awesome. Because then I wouldn't have to hope that you got the teaching. I would know that you got the teaching and the comprehension. And then I would be able to worry less about my friends and family and my neighbors. The reason why I talk the way I do sometimes is because I'm constantly worrying about my neighbors, my friends, and my family. I'm constantly worrying about them. I'm constantly seeing rights violations. That's why I talk the way I do. I'm fucking jaded as shit. I don't believe that there's any rights in the United States. I think that the United States is North Korea. Prove to me different. Like fucking, like that meme always says, like, prove me wrong or whatever. This guy sitting in a chair with a cup of coffee and he's like got a fucking white billboard in front of his table and all it says is like something like the USA is the real North Korea, prove me wrong. In North Korea's version of Hollywood, North Korea wins all the wars. That's what Lisa Ling said in the documentary that when she snuck a camera into North Korea with the people that went in to fix the cataracts. The doctors really did go in and fix the cataracts, but they used the opportunity to sneak in a couple cameras, and Lisa Ling actually snuck in. It was very dangerous for Lisa Ling to go in there. She could have been held and never come out. I think her big sister or her little sister, whichever sister, actually is being held by the North Koreans as like a spy. If they haven't took care of that by now, then they're probably never going to take care of that. You know, like make that stop. Lisa Ling, her sister, deserves to be out of North Korean custody, especially if she doesn't want to be in North Korean custody. It's like all these people that are getting sent to Alligator Alcatraz under the disguise that they're going to be deporting these people either to some inhumane prison in El Salvador or back to their home countries. But after a while, we're going to fucking find out that no, they haven't even been doing that many deportations. They've actually just been fucking holding these people for many years on end in their private prisons that they think that they don't have to fucking inform us about how they treat people. And then we find out that they've been detaining these people way longer than they said that they were supposed to. That we're like on the brink of that actually being a reality. They're already holding those people in inhumane fucking facilities. Well, the real usurpation is please stand up. Let her guts to go. Rubber side. Yep. Rubber side needs to meet the road, huh? You're probably at mountain time. You're like an hour ahead of me, or yeah. There's one person watching. I don't know who it is. I'm probably gonna get off of here and go. Yep. Maybe I'll make some short videos out of this video. if I can find some important parts or whatever. I'm getting tired anyways. It's 11. I probably should have went up to bed at 9. Much love, everybody out there. James Freeman, I'm glad that you got out. I'm sorry that they roughed you up and basically raped you of your rights for the time. And from here forth. But as these are harms that have to be have what's called it's called being made whole, but it's called a remedy. All of a sudden, James Freeman's going to have to be remedied. He's going to have to be made whole. But you never truly get emotionally remedied. Maybe not ever physically remedied, but a lawsuit is supposed to remedy you monetarily. It's supposed to. It's specifically supposed to. A lawsuit is specifically supposed to create remedy only monetarily. You might get your foot chopped off. You'll never be made physically whole, but at least they can. That one guy, they bent his fucking leg back so fucking hard that his knee broke in the back and ripped, and his leg basically had to be amputated. He'll never be made whole again. They had to make him whole. There was no other recourse but to make him whole monetarily for what they did. Redress and reparations. Yeah, that's all it is. All you can hope for the rights violation is a reparation. And some of these people out here want to try to act like they can vote whether you should get that reparation or you shouldn't get that reparation. There's people in the United States actually that thinks that they can vote whether or not the fucking government pays you a reparation or not. When if you read the provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct, you will see that fucking complaints against the public service employees can be either actual or even apparent. The public service agents have to the public service employees are supposed to strive to not show any impropriety that would cause one of the people to distrust them. They're supposed to be serving for the people's sole benefit and showing zero impropriety. The first sign of even an apparent impropriety, they are supposed to be redressed. They're supposed to be retrained. If their impropriety is so egregious that there's 2 improprieties in one, they're supposed to be terminated from their position. If they cause one impropriety, they should be retrained. If they cause a separate impropriety, but it's the second impropriety, they need to be reassigned, meaning they can no longer serve in that role of public service or in that area of somebody's right to life. One of the people's right to life. And if they do a third separate, but it's the third impropriety, they are supposed to be terminated. So 2 or more improprieties that happen on the same fucking time, that's supposed to be automatic fucking termination from ever serving in a role, a public service employee role, but with the position. So basically, they've been getting away with shit for a long time. Reparation just means to correct a wrong. Yeah. They have to make somebody that's been wronged whole again. They have to remedy something wrong. We have the right to grieve. It says in the First Amendment that we have a right to redressal of grievances because we go into the public service, or we're standing before a public service employee and we grieve, meaning we complain or criticize a public employee. those complaints and criticisms are supposed to be taken actually as actual or apparent, and they're supposed to be considered by the public service employee to be actual. So what they have to do is they have to they're supposed what they're obligated to do is they're obligated to perform what's known as full disclosure. They're supposed to go to like say somebody say some woman claimed a public employee raped her. The government has to look into that rape as if it actually happened. They have an obligation to look into that rape as if it actually happened. And even if it didn't happen, the public service employee that is being accused is supposed to go to, at the first sign of impropriety, the public service agent that created the impropriety is supposed to go to their higher up and disclose that impropriety or even apparent impropriety. And then, like if I create a impropriety against the tribe shouldn't even have to complain about my impropriety. Like say if the tribe tells me you just violated my right, I shouldn't, as an employee, allow or I shouldn't make force the tribe to go to my higher up and complain. I should go directly before my higher up and use exercise full disclosure, telling my higher up what I'm being accused of, even if it means my position with the government, or even if it means being criminally charged. That's what the public service employee is supposed to do, not by my beliefs or my opinions. That's what the provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct says, by way of the 1978 Ethics in Government Act, written 4 years before I was born, which outlines the ethics in government. The ethical standards are contained within that act and the provisions that are related to that act. The provisions of law set to regulate his or her official conduct are supporting documents of the Constitution. So while they're not the Constitution, they should accompany the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And I believe the Federalist Papers and stuff like that, but I'm not. I've researched the Federalist Papers, but I have not fully read it, which I should do. I'm not sure. I haven't studied it enough, so that's why I say I'm not perfect, and I'm not. I don't know everything, but I do know about this ethics in government. I do know quite a bit. I don't know every single thing about it either, but I do know quite a bit. That's like Chili when he says he's a constitutional law scholar. He doesn't know every single thing about the Constitution or the case laws that he knows quite a few case laws, but he doesn't know all the case laws. Which he has what he guys has the ability to do is remember the case laws. That's what he always talks about. He says he realized he had a ability to remember all these case laws, and that's what he's good at. So a lot of people that are haters of him try to fucking cut him down, like, oh, he's a constitutional law scholar, blah blah blah, acting like he has not the capabilities to believe even that he could ever be a constitutional law scholar. Chili is a very cool person. He's a very cool individual. I like him. Like him a lot. They don't train to their policy. They practice tribal knowledge. Yeah, but that's what they're getting away with. Nobody knows about the provisions of law to uphold it. Like they don't know enough about the policies to uphold the policies, or it's like when somebody goes protesting. If 1,000 people showed up protesting about the provisions of law set to regulate his or for her official conduct, instead of just like Black Lives Matter or Second Amendment rights, they would go a lot farther. You know, it's like if even 20 people got together in like a town and started not even discussing what happened wrong yet with the, like, say they go to the public service meeting, the public meeting. A lot of them go to the public meeting with a speech for their public comment about what had happened wrong. But for a while first, we need to be discussing at these public meetings during our comment section, our comment period of comment. We should be able to we should be telling them about how they're public employees, what provisions of law are set um, to describe the definitions of what a public employee is under the definition that the federal executive branch recognizes. And then once we've fully informed them that they are public employees under the federal executive branch who are subject to Ethics in Government Act of 1978, and that they should be that public service and public trust should be held for the sole benefit of the public, and that they're trustees, not beneficiaries. Then we can move on to telling them what they've done wrong. Basically, right now, we're going in and telling them what they did wrong at the public meeting, but we're sitting there down here at the public comment little podium while they're up there on the dais acting like they're a bunch of fucking gods, acting like they own the fucking public building that you're sitting there allowed to stand and talk in. That they're actually allowing you, that they can just knock the gavel and say, we want him removed from the public meeting, and that the cops come off the wall and come and fucking grab people and remove them from the public meeting. They're so wrong in that. The cameras are making a big difference. The cameras are there to catch these actions in time, on record. But so the thing about that is that, wow, if we had we want all the tools that we can get. We want the knowledge, some of that, like the knowledge that Audit Them teaches, where he actually uses the provisions of law that are set to regulate FOIA and how FOIA is supposed to be upheld and operated, for the benefit of the people to gain public records. They don't train to their policy. They practice tribal knowledge. Yeah, exactly. The tribe. This shit matters so much. Hopefully some of these big names that I wanted to fucking help me would be watching my videos in secret lurking, so they could learn some of this stuff and use it. The only problem with that is I don't know if they know, so while they somewhat come out with this stuff slowly, they don't come out with it fully. Maybe it's because, like Brian knows, if you come out with it fully, people will think that you're like halfway retarded or fucking crazy. They're the ones that do a good delivery. They're the ones with the popularity. That's why, people hate the tone of my voice. They don't like my words. No matter how much I know, They try to discredit me, and I don't gain popularity very easily, So, oh well, But so what I'm saying is, it's no fault of my own that fucking people aren't listening to me, except for based on it's based on me. But it's the way people feel about the tone of my voice, what I'm talking about, the importance of it, my delivery, all that shit. I can't force people to like me. I can only try to tell it how I see it, and hopefully people will comprehend, see an importance, and try to hear or listen. You say listen because it's like those old movement. Listen is an old movement term. It's an old movement protest term where it's like somebody standing at a podium and they're giving a speech before an auditorium, and every time the speaker says a truth, like a self-evident truth, there should be somebody up behind him in the assembly of people there to tell their side of the story. When they recognize a self-evident truth in the speaker's story, those people that recognize it should be able to exclaim, "Listen!" You see what I'm saying? Like it's almost like saying "message" every time there's a fucking truth told. You exclaim, "Listen!" and that alarms the people in the crowd to think about the message that was just exclaimed. These are all part of public participation. These are public participation moves, kind of like an interception is a football move, or like a slam dunk is a basketball move. Um, these are all moves of protest. These are all moves of public participation, which protest is a form of public participation. The people that were supposed to be um, of the people were supposed to be so honorable that they would want their neighbors' public participation upheld as credible, and not have a bunch of political people using wealth and stature to popularity to mold the minds of the masses. That's not what was supposed to happen. That's what's happening these days. It's been happening actually since well before I was born.